Welcome to the PD Coordinators webinar today, April 14th, 2022. Can you believe we're already well over a quarter into this year? I'm Tracy Hendricks. I'm with Train PD at TCall, and I'll be facilitating the webinar today. So we're going to get started and welcome everyone from around the state. I hope everyone is having beautiful weather like we are. I'm in the Houston area and it's just beautiful today. So I hope that you're having beautiful weather as well. So we're going to get started. Okay, so this is our agenda today. As we usually do, we're going to go over all these announcements, TCall announcements, updates from the professional development centers, new training conferences and statewide events that are going on, our monthly webinar series, our test training announcements and PD portal announcements, and then our PD coordinator time. So here we go. This first slide is for Beth. We're going to welcome a new staff member. Beth?
Thank you, Tracy. Good morning or afternoon, everyone. I am pleased to introduce our newest PD specialist, Olga Demina. Olga has been working in adult education in the Houston area, both for Harris County Department of Education and Houston Community College. And she's turned her camera on. Olga, would you like to unmute and just say hello?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. It is nice meeting you kind of virtually, and I look forward to working with you. My pleasure to be here. Thank you, Ms. Beth.
We are so happy to have Olga on the team, and we've just thrown her into the deep end. She just got off a program call just to get on with us. So welcome, Olga, and I hope all of you will welcome her as well as she starts working with the programs. So thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Beth. And welcome, Olga. We're very happy that you're here. It's exciting to have a new staff. We're excited for you to be here. And just for fun, Olga, we really do so much virtually that we just kind of we see each other virtually. It's just how we see each other all the time, it seems like now. Very rarely in person. I think our first opportunity will be coming soon to see and meet people in person. I'm real excited. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Okay, so now we're going to have updates from the professional development centers. And first up is Joan Jackson with the Career Pathways PDC. Joan?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for letting me come on today. Like Tracy said, my name is Joan Jackson, and I am the training coordinator at the Career Pathways Professional Development Center. I am going to try and keep this short. I have a lot of exciting symposium information. So yeah, just bear with me for just a second. Our 2022 Career Pathways Symposium is coming up on May 23rd through 25th at the historic Hilton Hotel in downtown Fort Worth. This symposium is free to attend. You will just need to pay for your travel. And I'm about to drop in the chat our registration link. It is through Qualtrics. It's a Qualtrics form. And I'm also going to drop our hotel link for those of you that will want to visit us and see us face to face. The link for the hotel is a little weird. So if it doesn't pull up our discounted hotel rates, just use the group code PATH and you'll be able to get our discounted rates. Let's see here.
And Joan, can you tell them what the discounted rate should be? Because when I made reservations, it was kind of wonky, like you said. What should they be looking for?
It should be $139 a night.
Okay, because that's a deal.
Yes, it is a steal.
Yes, so, okay,
for that hotel.
Good to know. Okay, are you ready?
And you will need to make your hotel reservations by April 29th. Perfect. And then if you can go to the next slide, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. I'm not going to read through the schedule of events. I'll just briefly talk over it with you guys. On Monday, we're going to have registration in the morning, and then opening general session starts at 1 with our strands workshop sessions will start after the general session. Tuesday, for anyone that's not able to come in on Monday, we'll have registration again in the morning, and then strands running all day for you to learn lots of good career pathways information. And then we will finish up Wednesday morning with the rest of our strands. And exciting news, the sessions will be presented in person at the Hilton Fort Worth, but we are also going to live stream all of the sessions. And our strands will include topics such as integrated EL civics, services to internationally trained English language learners, and working with justice-involved individuals, those people in corrections and reentry. We are excited to host the symposium, and we look forward to seeing you either in Fort Worth or virtually in May. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'll drop the Career Pathways email into the chat, and more information will be released to you guys very, very soon. So keep an eye out. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Joan. That's exciting information. And so Tiffany's asking, you can attend the conference virtually, right?
That is correct. Yes. It is going to be really interactive for our face-to-face attendees. But we also understand that not everyone's going to be able to travel. So we wanted to offer that virtual option as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Good question, Tiffany. Okay, now we're going to turn it over to Michelle Fick with the Distance Education Professional Development Center. Michelle?
Hello, everyone. We also have a gathering coming up that we want to make sure you know about. This is the 7th Annual Distance Learning and Tech Integration Symposium. It will be happening in San Antonio next month on May 12th and May 13th. I am putting the link in the chat box for registration, and that is completely free as well. And so all you have to do is pay for your travel and lodging. We're going to get started around noon or at noon on May 12th and go until about 4:30 on May 13th. And lunches will be covered, snacks and breakfast on the morning of the 13th. So I hope that you will let your people know and that as many of you as possible will be there. And you can go ahead and go to the next slide. So we need your help. We are trying to make sure that we have all the most up-to-date information on each program's distance learning lead. So we would ask that you would fill out a form for us. I put that form in the chat box as well. It's very quick. And if you are not the distance learning lead, you only have to fill out about 5 questions, which are things like, are you the distance learning lead? If you're not, what's their name and email address? So I hope that you'll help us out with that so we can collect the information and find out if any programs have had a change and who their distance learning lead is. Next slide. And then we also just want to make sure you know and that you are helping us spread the word to your programs about the call center. So we are open for business. We're open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day of the week. And this is to offer technical assistance, and it's to both students and instructors, program staff, for all things about distance education, distance learning, remote instruction, anything where people might in your programs might need technical assistance for their study or teaching. And our big news is that we have a website. So you're looking at a screenshot of our website. It's texasdistanceedhelp.com. If someone could put that one in the chat box, that would be really helpful for me. Anyway, you can go to that website and contact us directly at the call center through the website by just clicking on call now or live chat. And in the coming days, we'll be filling the website out more with educator resources and student resources as well. That part is still being built, but the part to access our call center is up and live and ready to go. And there are people sitting on those phones right this minute. So you could even test it out and give them a call and see if they answer. And then we want you to help us promote. The call center. So I'm going to put that link for the Wakelet with all the call center promotional materials in the chat box. Please pass that out to your staff. Make sure that all your teachers know about the call center and that they're letting the students know about the call center, and especially be targeting those new students as they come in and you get them signed up for a Zoom session on distance learning curriculum, that they know that the call center is a resource for them that they can access for free 7 days a week. And lastly, we want to make sure that we sent a promotional package with materials about the call center to every program in the state. So please ask around if you haven't received that. Ask your distance learning lead or the program head, did you receive a large cardboard box, large meaning long and narrow, that's kind of poster size? It should have a poster for you to put up in your programs, magnets, stickers to promote the call center and to make the phone number widely available. Thank you. That's all.
Great, Michelle. Thank you so much. And Lorraine at Central Texas College said they did get their box. Yay. Good news. And we did have a question. Lori answered it though. Will the call center be open this weekend on Easter weekend? Lori said yes.
Yeah, we're fully staffed all
Okay.
weekend.
Okay. Let's see. PJ is asking, we have 4 DL coordinator leads, 1 for each of our consortium partners. Do you want me to complete the survey 4 times?
So if you can put all 4 names and email addresses in that one survey, then that's all you need to give us. And I think you should be able to do that. I don't think that there is a character or word limit for each answer. If not, if you wouldn't mind doing it 4 times, that would be great. We want to know all 4.
Great. You see that in the chat that the distance learning leads didn't load. Okay.
Click on it, see what happens.
Okay. Michelle's going to check on that and put that back in the chat if needed. So thanks, Lorraine. We're going to move on. Okay. And Carly says she was able to fill it out and submit it. So Lorraine, I don't know, you might want to try it again, perhaps. Okay, so let's move on. And there was a couple of conferences right there, symposiums and things in May where we can see each other face to face at the DLTI in San Antonio and then at the Career Pathways Symposium in Fort Worth. I'm very, very excited about that. Okay, and Jan didn't have any problem filling it out either. Perfect. Thank y'all for doing that for Michelle. Okay, so we're going to talk about some new trainings, conferences, and statewide events. Okay, Paula is out this afternoon. She had an appointment, so I'm going to cover this slide. Literacy Texas Symposiums and Conferences. You can see that the Literacy Texas Conference will be August 1st and 2nd in College Station at the Hilton in College Station. The proposals actually are due this Sunday, April 17th. And I've asked Wendy to put in, she's put the calendar link in there. And then Wendy, if you could put the proposal link in there as well, that would be great. I appreciate it. And then you can see the, okay, perfect. The other symposiums that are going on, you've got May 6th, the Literacy Symposium for Faith affiliated programs here. May 21st, DFW Literacy Symposium, and June 2nd and June 11th. And so you can go to that calendar at Literacy Texas at any time to find more information about registration. Oops, sometimes I lose my mouse. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, I'll handle this one. Robin is on the call, I think, but I'll handle this. We're just promoting this poetry in motion training again for building writing for ESL and ELA students. We're going to do this for teachers statewide on Zoom on May 17th from 1 to 4. So if you have teachers, anyone can register to attend this. And PD coordinators, you don't have to register them, but you certainly can if you would like to. We just wanted to offer this event again because it really was very well received when we did it as our pilot. And so we're going to offer it on Zoom. And then you can also request this program for your teachers. It is very teacher driven. And poetry, Carrie Stell did a poetry session at COA virtually, and hers was very different than this one, but poetry really is very moving, and students can all relate to writing poetry because usually they're writing about something from their life. So I really found that session at COA interesting, and Carrie's in our state at Grayson College, I believe, and that was very interesting. Yes, Anne Marie, it was a great session. So anyway, have your teachers sign up for this session and then request it for your program, maybe this year or the next program year.
Tracy, we had a question come in from Tiffany.
Oh, okay. Thank
Would
you.
the category for this one be literacy?
Yes, it would be, Wendy, so much.
Okay, yes.
Literacy.
Yes to that one, Tiffany. It will be literacy.
Perfect.
And then also, just real quick, I
Thanks.
noticed that Lori Slayton put in the link for proposals for the AEL Fall Institute. So that link has been put in the chat as well for any proposals for that.
Okay, great.
In case somebody wasn't monitoring the chat, just to announce it's in there.
Okay. And we, and when will the proposals be due? What is the deadline, Lori, for those proposals?
April 30th.
April 30. Okay. Oh, that's coming up very quickly.
Yep.
Okay. And the symposium, can you tell us the dates for that Falls Institute? Lori, do you mind?
Yeah, it's September 20th
Okay.
through the 22nd, and it'll be here in Austin, but we'll also be streaming sessions.
Okay, great. And I believe information will be coming out when we have it about hotel, the hotel block and registration for the Institute.
Yeah, most likely in June
Okay,
for registration.
perfect. Thank you,
Tra-
Lori.
Tracy, may I add one thing to that?
Absolutely.
Just a note that the pre-conference day for the Fall Institute is going to be on the 19th, September 19th, and we are going to have a half day set aside for PD coordinators again. So that'll be an opportunity for us to get back together, and we'll be reaching out to you shortly about some additional topics that you'd like us to cover. And also, we're going to have a strand for instructors at the Fall Institute, which we haven't normally had in the past. So another great opportunity for your instructors to get some additional PD.
Perfect. Thank you, Lori and Beth. Thanks so much. So if y'all have proposals, your teachers have proposals, have them submit a proposal by April 30th. Okay, Wayne, would you like to share about the newsletter?
I would love to, Tracy. Thank you.
Okay, great.
So we have successfully sent out 2 editions of the AEL Development monthly newsletter. It's based, we're sending them out based on PD Portal membership. So if you have an active account with the PD Portal, it should come out to you. We're trying to release them towards the end of the month, and we're having a number of topics that are covered each month, one for each one of the webinar monthly sessions that we do: Manager Monday, Teacher Tuesday, Tech and Tell, Workforce Wednesday. We're also going to highlight professional development for that month, with something like the Poetry in Motion, or if there's some other state event, a statewide event, or PD offerings that are available. When it's applicable, we're going to have a section for TOT. So if Tracy and Robin are offering any of those test administrative trainings, or any other TOTs come through, then we'll try to get those in there. We're going to have a section for the Career Pathways Professional Development Center, one for the Distance Learning Education Center, We're going to do a different spotlight every month for things that have been going on that we thought deserved a kudos. And we're also going to have tips either from TWC or tips from TCall, and we're going to alternate those monthly. And we're also going to have a what's new session. So if anything new comes out or is going to be released in that month or is just released prior to that, we're going to try to highlight those as well. And that's all I have.
Great, Wayne. And Tiffany says she loves them. So that's good. And Katie says there's lots of programs. Some programs have had bounce backs. So of them, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Hey, Tracy, it's Katie.
Yeah.
The bounce backs, I've notified some of the programs already,
Okay.
just kind of informing them of what's going on. And also, from what I understand from George, who sends these out,
Mhm.
is that they can end up on a list where they'll never get these newsletters. And so we want to prevent that from happening. So
Right.
we are actively looking at the bounce backs and making sure that everyone who needs to get this is getting it.
Perfect. Thank you, Katie. I know you work very hard at everything, but doing all the magic on the background. Thank you. And thank you, Wayne, for doing this professional development monthly. It is interesting. I've enjoyed seeing it come through as well.
I've enjoyed doing it.
Well, thank you for doing it. Tiffany, I just wanted to, and Lori, you answered this. Tiffany did ask if there would be a DL strand at the pre-conference, and Lori said no, but there's a digital literacy strand during the conference. So just wanted to make sure if you, since we're recording this, that goes on the recording and everyone gets that information. So thanks, Wayne, so much. Okay, so we're at question and answer time. Any other questions you have about what we've covered so far? And type them in. Okay, Jan says she hasn't gotten this. What do I need to do? And Katie, I'm not sure who are they sending these to? Perhaps that's what I don't know. Who
So
they're going to.
It's everyone who's active in the PD portal. And so some of them could be, I would check your spam folder first. That's the first thing I would do. And then wait and see if you get the next one coming out. We're still trying to fix some of those, I don't know, bugs that you have in the very beginning. So we'll try it one more time and kind of see. But I can check if you'd like me to, but first check your spam folder or your junk folder.
Okay, good.
And you can, if you have people who are not getting them and you've tried all the usual things, they don't get it, you can just send me an email and say, hey, I'm not getting this. And I'll have Georgia look into seeing why that's not happening.
Perfect. Wayne, do you mind putting your email address in the chat, please? So they know how to contact you. Okay, perfect. And Marie, same thing. If you don't find it in your spam, you might want to contact Wayne. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it. Any other questions? And we're going to move on to our monthly webinar series. Okie doke. So we're going to do our monthly webinar series here. Start with Manager Monday. So Wendy Christensen, I'm going to turn this over to you.
I'm here. Just as announcement, so the next one is April 25th, and that will be Types of Listening. This is part of a series that we're having Dr. Rick Alvarado do for us, and it's all about supervisory skills and improving the culture of where you're working in your organization. So the next one is Types of Listening on April 25th at noon, and it's only an hour, so it's a really good opportunity to learn something in just a quick hour. Go ahead, next slide. And then after April, we have May, and May is a new date. I mean, we announced it last month, so it's May 16th, and that will be Ricardo Rivera from Brownsville. He's the director there, and he's going to be talking about some things that he's been doing with his IET programs and ways to market it and increase persistence of his students. It'll be called Rebranding Your IET. So that's a good one. And then in June, we're going to have Adjust Your Thinking, the next subject from Dr. Rick Alvarado. So that'll cover the next 3 sessions, and we hope to see you there. I think I have one more slide.
Yes, you do. Here you go.
And so this is also just the dates for the remainder of the year. And I am looking for suggestions for both September and November. So if anybody has anything a topic that they would like to see have covered, or maybe something that you would like to share, please go ahead and send me an email. I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat in just a second. And I'll also put these dates there, but I am good except for September and November as far as topics. So if you have anything that you'd like to see covered, or like I said, if you want to share something that you're doing really great at your program, just send me a quick email. And I think that's all I have for Manager Monday at this time.
Thanks, Wendy. Appreciate it. I love the little blue guy, the little blue thing. So cute. Okay, let's move on. And Wendy put her email in the chat if you have any ideas for those sessions. Okay, so Beth, we're going to do Teacher Tuesday.
All right, next Teacher Tuesday is coming up on May 10th, and our topic is taking the adult ed med videos to your classroom. We've talked a couple of times and done several sessions about this video project and the contextualized lessons that were created to go along with it. And so in this particular session, Ashley Winkle and Krista Mosher on our team are going to really talk about, okay, so how do I take this video? How do I take this lesson? And how do I incorporate it into my program, into my classroom? So it's going to be a great session. So it'll be at noon on May 10th.
Okay, thanks, Beth. Okay, I'm going to cover Workforce Wednesday. Olga is coming back from a co-aid. So this April 20th is the Gulf Coast College Navigators are back with a 4-part series that will break down the 4 steps in career planning and address the who, what, and how of career planning and exploration. So join us for step 2. What are my options? Learn how to incorporate labor market information to explore career options, align values, interests, and skills with career choices. Participants are encouraged to take the self-interest analyzer in mytexascareer.com or mynextmove.org prior to this class. So, Wendy, I don't know if you can grab those links and put them in the chat if people want to go ahead and take the self-interest analyzer. This sounds very interesting to me. Step 2, what are my options? So join us on April 20th. And they have it. Oh, Michelle's saying she loves My Next Move. They have it in Spanish. Students do love that kind of thing. I love that kind of thing. I think we all like to see, you know, what we wanted to grow up to be. Did that really turn out to be what we thought we would turn out to do, as if that makes sense. Okay, so then these are the dates for the rest of the Workforce Wednesdays in the year, I'm sorry. May 18th, June 15th, and so on. And the blue guy's there again. I really like that little blue guy. Okay, and I know people on the recording can't see him. Sorry about that, you're missing it. It's just cute. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Okay, Anne-Marie, we're up to Tech and Tell.
Hi, everybody. And Tracy, you can hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hi, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful afternoon wherever you are. And we've got exciting April coming up tomorrow. We have a Tech and Tell webinar with our very own Michelle Vick with T-Call. And very excited about this because I know we're all jamming with Jamboard, but we're going to have Michelle really help teachers understand Jamboard. So tomorrow, April 15th, always from 11:30 to 12:30 on a Friday, we're going to have basically a part 1, which is Jamming with Jamboard, Google's digital whiteboard. So that's going to be tomorrow. I hope you join us for that. And then the next slide, Tracy.
Yes. Sorry. Sometimes that mouse, I just lose it.
I know, so do I. We'll wait for the little blue guy to come because I want the little blue guy to come too.
Is he coming?
No, I want him to come though.
Okay, I think he's fine.
I do too. I do too. So next week on Friday, April 22nd, Michelle will be back to help us learn even more about Jamboard. And I know she's got a lot more ideas, and this is promoting active learning with Google Jamboard. And so think of this as a part 2. And so we're very excited. We're very excited to learn about Jamboard. And I want to know, Michelle, where you're getting all those cool backgrounds from Jamboard, because my free Jamboard does not come with all those awesome backgrounds. So I hope we learn about that. So let's go to the next slide. And registration is in the portal, by the way, for Jamboard. So we are lucky to have our a special education teacher coming back from the Literacy Council of Tyler. Amy McBride will be back in May for discussing GeoGebra. And some of you may remember a few years ago that Krista Mosier presented on GeoGebra, but there have been some updates. So we wanted to bring it back, and we wanted to have a few more math tech and tells in the portal. So she will be back doing a part 1 and a part 2. And I will share that the May 27th Tech and Tell is going to be 90 minutes. And hopefully PD portal registration will be available next week. So hold those dates in May for GeoGebra. And so thinking about what's coming up, we've got our Jamboards we talked about on April 15th, April 22nd, May 20th, and May 27th is GeoGebra. But I do want you to be aware of 2 dates in June. I think we will have 2, we may not. So just hold those 2 dates, June 10th and June 17th. And I'm working on July. And then August 12th and August 19th, we have a presenter coming back, and it's a surprise right now, but we're going to be learning about a critical thinking digital tool from Stanford University that you can use with students for collaborative instruction and teaching the civics lessons for Standards 3.0. So it's going to be a really good August, but again, stay tuned for June and July. Thank you, Tracy. Next slide. And then as always, please reach out to us with ideas and let us know if you're interested in presenting, or you have a colleague or someone that is just a tech wizard or at your program or has specialized knowledge in any of these areas. We would love to hear from you. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you so much, Anne Marie. Okay, do y'all have any questions about any of the monthly webinar series that we have? All good, all great stuff coming up. Okay, any questions? Okay, we're going to move on. If you think of anything, just put it in the chat. Okay, so now we're going to talk about test trainings. And I'll cover that. We have some test administrator trainings coming up, and basically these are very popular. I'll talk about the TOTs in just a moment, but I did want to share that at this point we have Best Literacy on May 19th, and then the CASAS, the May 3rd and 4th day, that is full. In fact, we have a waiting list for that. So I'm going to be probably reaching out to programs for both the CASAS and the Table 11-12, because some programs have sent quite a few staff to them, and I'll probably be reaching out to you as PD coordinators to see if you could help figure out who needs to come as a priority, so that everyone can get a seat at the table, if you will. This, and I will mention this in another slide, but at the end of June, TCAL will stop doing these virtual test administrator trainings. And beginning July 1, the local programs will need to be doing your own test trainings to your staff. We've been doing this, the past couple of years to help out with during the pandemic, and as people were hiring not as quickly as they in the past couple of years. Hiring kind of slowed down. You might have had 1 or 2 people or a handful come on board during a semester or even the year. And so now that we're kind of ramping back up and going back to normal, our new normal, programs are back face-to-face. We were doing this with TWC's blessing to help programs. So we're going to stop doing this at the end of June. We will continue to do train the trainer events, however, but this is what we've got going right now. It's possible that we might offer another TABE 11-12 online. That one filled up very quickly, and possibly the CASAS T8 test administrator training as well. But we do have BEST Literacy open at this point. Now, Robin did go over these slides last month about a TOT. We've got a couple more TOTs coming up, 3 more coming up. And I just wanted to go over these slides again real quickly, that a TOT, when you recommend or choose someone to come to a TOT, that person should have had at least a year experience in the test tool that they're coming to do the train the trainer for. It's not for staff that are brand new and need to learn to do test administration. And keep in mind that this person will then be the trainer for your program. So you want someone who's going to be engaging and work with your staff and be that subject matter expert in your program for that testing tool that you're using. Upon completion of any of the TOTs except for BEST Plus, they're automatically certified to do training. So I know we've got some TOTs coming up, and we have some programs that have staff coming to test administrator trainings, but they also are sending staff to a TOT. And so I may be contacting you to see if, can your staff wait until your trainer has been trained and then do some training with your staff. I'll wrangle that. We'll see how that goes. But that's the point of the TOT, is so that that person is able to be that subject matter expert for your program. Materials and tech checks for TOTs are really important. And I know that it seems inconvenient for people to come to these. They're always the day before the trainer event. But we go over, do you have a CASAS? If it's CASAS, do you have a CASAS login? They log in for us to see if they have it. If they don't, we help them get set up so they're ready to go. We cover things, make sure they have the materials that they need, because we do email those to them virtually. Sometimes those go to spam too, and we've got to check that. DRC with TABE, we have to log people in to the demo site. So there's a lot of things we do in these tech checks that are just critical, so that when we start the Train the Trainer event, the trainer can get going with the content right away. We do have TABE 11-12 online next Saturday, April 23rd. There are still seats left for that. We have 2 CASAS dates now for the TOT. We do have one in June 1 through 21st through 23rd. That's the new date, and it is on the PD portal calendar. And then the May 3rd, 4th, and 5th date, which is full, pretty much full. I think there might have been 1 seat when I checked it last. We know that a lot of programs, several programs are going to CASAS in July. So we've added the 2nd date. And just keep in mind that not everyone, you don't need everyone to be a trainer. Now, if you're a consortium with several sub-providers, you're definitely going to need more trainers than a smaller program might, for example. So I may be contacting you to talk about who really needs to attend the TOTs, that kind of thing. If we have a lot of your staff or your consortium members on the registration list. We have Best Literacy on May 19th. So that is a 6-hour training. And then with any of these people that go through the TOTs are certified to train upon completion of the Train the Trainer event. Okay. I did mention this a minute ago that beginning July 1, local programs will be responsible for Tier 1 test trainings. And we'll continue to provide the Train the Trainer events to build local capacity. We'll continue to do that as needed. I did want to bring up and talk about refreshers. If you've been to the PD coordinator pre-conference we had for Taylor, we went over that, talked about this, but I do get a lot of questions about this, and it is confusing. People are confused about what they need to take for the test administrator training refresher and the remote test training refresher. And so the keys there, it's kind of like almost a mirror thing. The key to it is, of course, every 2 years, but a refresher is required every 2 years for the test administrator training. And that goes with test administrator training. The remote test administrator training is, I have to move my box there, is in the PD portal, and it's required every 2 years as well. And right now, just have the staff member watch the remote test training that's in the portal right now. We may try to update some of those. I'm planning to contact the publishers and see if they would like to do a new webinar for us, because we figure many things may have changed in the past couple of years. And so we'll be working on that. But there's two things. If people are not doing a remote test training, then they don't need to do a refresher. Or if they stopped doing it, when you went back face to face, they would not need a refresher for that. But for test administrator training, definitely every 2 years. So those are two separate courses. And I just wanted to show you here to look for the remote test trainings with any of them. Best, TABE, CASAS, just go to the search bar and look up remote. This one's TABE 1112. Just put in the keywords TABE, CASAS, or BEST, and remote, and that will pull up that course for you. And I, again, just want to remind everyone, please share this chart with your staff members. I don't mind questions at all. That's what Robin and I are here for. But we get a lot of questions about refreshers, about how often and how long trainings need to be, all those kinds of things. And we're happy to answer the questions. I don't mind at all. But please share. This chart has so many things on it. It has everything. This is just BEST right here. Goes through every testing tool that we use. Wendy put the link in the chat. Thank you so much. It also talks about the refreshers for the remote trainings as well. So everything's, well, no, what I meant to say was the remote test guidance chart is now underneath this training chart. So it's all combined in one place. So that all your information is there. And I just really would encourage you to share this with your staff, share this link, let them know where to go to look for all of the answers. Well, not all the answers, but a lot of the answers that they have about training, test training anyway. Okay, so I see there's been some conversation in the chat. Did we get these answered?
Robin answered them, but we can just
okay,
announce it quickly just to make sure in case somebody can't see the chat. So Jan had a question. As a TOT, when I train my staff, can this include all staff, for example, secretaries, administrative aides, etc.? And Robin answered saying, yes, as a trainer, you are credentialed to deliver the training to whomever your program wishes to be a test administrator. And then Marie had a question. Did you have anything to add on that, Tracy?
No, that's a perfect answer.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Robin.
And then Marie said, should we keep the remote current just in case? We still offer one date for testing online, so I need 1 or 2 trained. And Robin said, yes, that would be a wise plan.
Perfect. And
thank you, Robin.
Answers. Thank you, Robin. And those are great questions. Great questions. Okay. And if you think of any more on that part, put them in the chat or email Robin or I, and we'll be happy to help you, or ask your PD specialist as well. They're very much a wealth of information too. So, okay. So Katie, I'm going to turn this over to you now.
Thank you, Tracy. All right. Our PD portal team has been very, very busy. We have 9 new publications this month. It's Manager Monday, Building and Maintaining Trust, Manager Monday, Overview of Texas AEL Testing Guide, Teacher Tuesday, TWC Special Initiatives, Teacher Tuesday, God Accommodations, Assisting Adult Learners in the Classroom. We have 2 Workforce Wednesdays, a Career Exploration Step 1, and Engaging Students with Motivational Interviewing. Then we have 3 Tech and Tells that are now published: Zero to Hero, Advancing in Nearpod, and then Math Manipulatives and Exercises with Mathagon, Part 1 and Part 2.
Great. Okay.
Okay. All right. So a couple of things. We've noticed a handful of folks that have been getting logged out of the PD portal while actually working through an online course. So in order to obtain a certificate of completion, you have to have gone through the entire course in the PD portal, right? Well, if they're logged out, the calculation of time spent in a course completely stops without them knowing. And it stops at the slide or time where they were timed out at. And that can be frustrating. So this impacts the learner moving forward. And we receive a lot of these issues by call and by email. And so what do? Well, here's some information that you can share with your staff. If anyone has to step away for any reason, whether it's a phone call, bathroom break, etc., please make sure that either the complete video later or the exit buttons are clicked. That saves progress. Okay. So in a couple of things here, these are 2 different curriculum players or media players I have up on the screen. The reason that they look different is because our videos are published using different platforms, and those platforms, like any other software, have upgrades and updates and things like that. Also, please make sure that your staff encourage them to use Google Chrome and to close out of other programs and other applications that they're not using. Sometimes it can be a distraction, and then people don't realize when they've been logged out because they're on another page. Anyway, so I'm gonna, in the chat pod, I'm gonna actually put a PDF that has some instructions on just basic use of the curriculum player, and hopefully that will help. There is a question in the chat pod though.
Yes, Marie says that it, okay, I lost it. It times.
It says it time, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah, it times me out when there's a lot of reasons to have vision problems. It takes a little while for me to read. I appreciate when the slides don't have a lot of writing. Yeah, and you know, we don't want to have a lot of writing on the slides, but maybe it's if you're downloading, you know, a resource from the tab or whatever it might be, just keep your eye on periodically on the screen so that you can see there is a big button that will say continue. And right now we just want to ensure that it's calculating appropriately, but this is one thing that I wanted to draw to people's attention just because it seems to be kind of common right now.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Okay, let me
have another 2, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so I went over this last week too, but as a reminder, as we entered the spring season, several of you on here are considered a manager or approver specifically in the PD portal. This specifically gives you the PD portal supervisory powers. Okay. You can run reports such as transcript reports, which is probably very important at this time of year. You can view certificates of completion, communicate with others in the field, assign trainings, all of that. Please, please, please note, you'll notice there's assigned training is bolded and has 3 asterisks. If you are assigning training, please make sure that you have reviewed the instructions on how to do this. It's extremely important that these steps are followed because there's different ways to do a live or an asynchronous course. So the additional work is not created for you or for the PD portal staff. When hundreds of people are assigned something that doesn't exist, it creates a very big mess, and we want to prevent that. And all those steps are provided in here. So just make sure you take a little glance. If you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out. So this resource that we have that we talk about constantly is our supervisory portal resource. I'm putting it here in the chat pod, but it's also now on our website. So if you go on our help, where all of our help PDFs are, there's a section in purple that specifically says, if you're a supervisor, click here for more resources. You can scan this QR code as well. It'll get you to the same place. But specifically, I'm going to put our help resources page in the chat pod as well, and you can find it there. We try to streamline that way it's all in one place. Please note also that our PD portal intern, Colin Christian, has created some brand new how-to videos, and they have been added to this resource. Please check them out. There's a video actually on how to assign training. So I hope that everyone is able to use this resource, especially as we get close to June 30th.
We do have a question from Lorraine. She's asking, where do I find the spreadsheet to list trainings which I cannot find listed in Teams, staff development? I have certificates for trainings taken through the PD portal.
Let me reread that what she's saying.
And I think, Lorraine, you're talking about the conference spreadsheet for Teams that you can ask your PD specialists for, where you list sessions that staff have taken that like are national or other state sessions.
Yeah, that one's not going to be through the PD portal.
Earned online, right? And if everything in the PD portal should be in Teams under TCall as the I don't know what the word is.
Provider.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. That just,
there's just the mention of Teams make me think that that's not that I can't help just because I do PD portal. Now I can tell you that everything that staff have completed through the PD portal should be in the transcript report that's run, and also, their certificates of completion. But I'm not sure about that other one that she's referring to.
Okay, so Lorraine, she's saying, sorry, PD portal trainings, I need to add them to team staff development. Yeah, you might email your PD specialist. It might be that there is a list, there is a report that you can run on, in the PD portal that has all the trainings everyone's taken.
Yes, it's a transcript report.
Attach staff to them. And that's report 2.0.
Yep. So if she clicks on the web page and goes to the supervisory resources, go down, and Lorraine, specifically for you, you're going to use the reporting 2.0, the small consortia one, and that is going to walk you step by step on how to pull that report, and it's all there.
Okay, and then she can run the transcript report. She's looking for training under staff development. Okay, yes.
Email Wayne, and maybe he can narrow it down and we can help you out. But Wayne can always point you in my direction if needed.
Okay, good question. Okay.
Okay, so this piggybacks off of what Tracy was referring to earlier about the test training refresher. So she's our testing expert, and I'm going to tell you how to get this on your transcript. So a few things here. So the majority, as she's already kind of mentioned, the majority of our PD portal courses are set up in a way where they cannot be repeated. And that's caused a little dilemma for right now for the test training that requires a refresher. So we have a solution for next program year. However, we have to kind of work with it differently until June 30th. So if you need to complete a refresher at this time, but you're unable to request one of the following, please send an email to pdportal@tamu.edu. What we'll do is we will review your transcript, make sure everything, just ensure that you need, that it's the one that you took was older, so that's why you can't take it. Basically just do a little bit of an investigation on our part, and then we will push it through onto your transcript to take. So one issue that we've had recently is that PD coordinators can do this, but they can't assign it to themselves if they need it. And that's one issue we came up to. So if you know that, there's 5 people or 3 people or whoever in your program that need to have, for example, the Best Plus 2.0 remote testing administration refresher, what you can do is just send me the names of what needs to be refreshed, of what test, and then also the names of your staff. And I can go ahead, look at it for you, and I can push it onto their transcripts fairly easily. I just need an email. You'll also notice that there's a new scrolling banner. It's dark blue that's on the Learner Home login page. And once you log in, you'll see it, and it has these 3 courses. So it's Best Plus 2.0 remote testing administration, CASA's Proctor remote testing training, which by the way is a prerequisite for 2 others. TAVE 1112 remote test administration for Texas. So these are the 3 that we can push onto transcripts if you're not able to request it. So just send us a simple email and we will do all the work for you. So.
Okay. And Katie did a lot of work figuring this out for us this year. So thank you, Katie.
I was trying to make it as smooth as possible for everyone involved. And I think that's, I'm out.
Thanks, Katie, so much. So I have one Teams announcement, and it's conference season this spring. So I wanted to remind everyone that if you do have staff that attended state conferences or national conferences like COABE, virtually or in person, or got a certificate online for some links courses or other courses they've been doing, now's the time to gather that information. And what you'll need is the conference sessions for Teams spreadsheet. Please ask your PD specialist for that spreadsheet if you don't already have it. And you combine the information on there, put the title of the session, the description, the date, and the hours, PD hours that someone received, and we will enter those into Teams for you. As we ramp up to the end of the year here, this is really important. Please don't save this to the very last minute. With the things coming up in May, the DLTI and the career pathways, we will put those in to Teams automatically because we've got our PDC centers sponsoring those. Okay, we're going to keep moving. We are into PD coordinator time. We just have a few more slides, y'all. So I'm going to turn this over. Krista's also coming back from COABE. I'm going to turn this over to Beth.
All right, thanks, Tracy. Well, this slide kind of builds on several things that you've already heard us mention from Tracy and from Katie, that it is that time of year. It's time to start running those reports, checking on your staff's PD hours, getting them in if they need a few more hours of PAL or a few more hours of LIT. So these are some of the things that you need to be looking at: your team staff roster, team staff development, and then the transcript and active user reports from the PD portal. And again, as always, your PD specialist is available for help for running those reports. How do I look at the data? What is it you're looking for? These are going to be important too as you start working on your PD plan. So go ahead and go to the next slide. And that leads to your PD plan follow-up, which is due to TWC by May 2nd. And once you should have already gotten and been in communication with your TCAL PD specialist. When you have completed your PD follow-up plan, you need to email it to aelcontacts@twc.texas.gov. And please include your grantee number in the file name. And Lori, are you still on? Do you have anything you want to add about the PD follow-up plan?
Yep, I'm still here. No, nothing really to add. We appreciate all your work on it.
All right. Thank you, Lori. And we have a comment from Lorraine. I think we found the spreadsheet that she needed.
Ask Wayne.
Yes. Okay. And then the next slide is the PD coordinator time. I know we've gone right up to 3 o'clock today. Boy, we had a lot to share. Do we have any questions from anybody in the group? Are we supposed to get a spreadsheet sent to us about the PD plan follow-up?
You want me to answer that, Beth, or do you?
Sure, go ahead.
Back in December, so Tiffany, I know I sent them all out on December 3rd, I believe, filled in with the goals that you had that you had put on the PD plan. So you might want to go back and look. I think we all sent them out about that time. And if you did not get it, then email me and I will send it to you again. Yes, it was back in December. We sent it early so that y'all would have plenty of time to work on them. Good question. And the slide that we just showed. Okay, you want to go back to this one, Kelsey? Okay. And so if any of you didn't get, and go back in December and look, I believe we all sent them out to PD coordinators. December 3rd is what's in my head. I was trying to look on a piece of paper and see if I had it written down somewhere. Yeah, yes, it was sent out December 3rd, 2021. So if you didn't get it or for some reason can't find it again, please email your PD specialist and they'll send it to you again. Yes, Marie, we wanted y'all to have it plenty early so you could work on it. Because remember, it's a living document. Okay. Kelsey, did you get that? Okay. Yes, okay. All right. Any other questions? This is great. I know it's 3 o'clock, so we will, I'm going to go to the next slide, which, Beth, do you want to talk about this one with the dates?
Yes, so I just wanted to check in with you all. So normally we meet on the second Thursday, but second Thursday in May, hopefully everybody in this room is going to be at the Distance Learning and Technology Integration Symposium in San Antonio. So what I'd like to propose is that we move our PD coordinators webinar for next month to May 5th. Does that work for everybody, or is that a huge conflict for anybody? Just let me know in the chat. But we'll plan on doing it basically a week early. We'll do it on May 5th.
Okay. People are saying it's good. Sure. Sounds good.
Okay. So mark that date down and we'll send that out in an email too, so everybody has it. And I think that's it. Other than I think our next slide is like us on Facebook.
Right. Like us on Facebook, Twitter, even, I believe there's a presence there, LinkedIn, but definitely on Facebook. Okay. And then last minute questions. I'm going to go to that last slide with the date for the next meeting that Beth just talked about, May 5th. So, and Deb put the link to the, what is that link to, Deb? I'm sorry.
To register for the free Distance Learning and Tech Integration Conference.
Right, exactly. Okay. And we did talk about that early on in the webinar, but yes, thank you, Deb, because we need people to come. San Antonio is such a great place to go visit, and the registration is free. You just have to pay for travel, but it's a good place to go hang out. Okay, so we are done for today. Thank y'all so much for joining us.